Hi everybody, this is just a short video from a spontaneous flight from Speikboden, end of August. The forecast was looking good, but with a high chance of overdevelopment in the afternoon, so I just drove there in the morning hoping for the best, and this is the result. Nothing spectacular, but I just wanted to share the pictures because I think the scenery there is breathtaking. We just start over Speikboden, first thermal of the day, still very weak, but you can already see the main ridge of the Alps to the right, and I just think the scenery is breathtaking. So I'm just trying to find a proper climb, but nothing there yet. So we decide to cross over, switch to the other side of the valley because the clouds there look better. Still very hard to find proper climb. You can see we kind of circle forever, nothing. But now finally you can see the cloud developing more and more, and that's enough to bring me up to base. The others are going into the wrong direction from my point of view, so I decide to wing it and just fly off by myself. Still the thermals are quite distorted, so I get bored with it and decide to switch over to the other side of the valley. Very big crossing here, stunning scenery. I aim for the top of the mountain, and you can see the triangles in the side of the mountain, and according to Ferdinand Vogel's Dreieckstheory, the thermals they trigger on top of those triangles, and normally it actually works. So I just find my way here along the ridges, trying to make base, doesn't work, so I get bored again. Switch to the other side of the valley again, and you can see here there's a kind of a ridge on top of a ridge, so I guess thermals trigger there, and still nothing. So yeah, I just make my way to the more sunny slopes. Here I finally find some proper thermal that allows me to make base quite quickly. It's more or less like 4 or 5 meters integrated over 10 seconds. And I head to the next ridge. Another long glide, stunning scenery. So here I need to make base because the next valley crossing is huge. That's the one going over Sturzing, and you need maximum height here, as if you go too low you might get eaten up by the valley land. You can see there are no clouds here because all the thermals get swept away from the valley winds, but I kinda make it, aiming for the southern side here of the Riednauntal, but I find some climb here. Try to make it a bit higher, but that was actually a waste of time, so I just go for it. Still trying to get high, still waste of time, just following the ridge. Still can't find a proper climb. Getting lower and lower, but now I finally find a trigger that brings me up to base, and now we can just ride the ridge. You can see the clouds forming beautifully over that ridge, and this is what you want. You just go for it. No circles needed. I'm a bit more cautious though, because I'm not very familiar with this area, only my second time here, so I don't want to go too deep. Awesome nature, you can see the glacier remains of the Riednaun glacier, but at some point I think, okay, that's far enough, going in any deeper won't help me with my triangle anyways, so I turn back. The way back is epic. This is how a cloud street should look, just straight ahead, push as much as you dare. It doesn't show in the video since it's obviously fully stabilized, but it's very active air, strong thermals up to 7 meters. So I have to work quite a lot to keep the glider open, make base again at the end of the ridge before I start the very long crossing over Sterzing again. Very important to stay high here, because the later the day, the stronger the valley winds will be, and if you fly too low, they will just swallow you. So I reached the other side, struggled to find a good thermal in the beginning. We have to search quite a long time, but then finally find the proper climb. I think this was one of the best climbs of the day. It just shoots me up again to base. You can tell the cloud above just forms. Now the day starts to get better and better, maybe even a bit too good, and I fear the chance of overdevelopment. The weather forecast said in the afternoon there's a high risk of thunderstorms, so I try to fly as fast as possible. Again, make max height. Now we're flying towards the Müsen crossing. Again, I struggle to find a proper climb. You can see the clouds kinda not fully developed, but then I finally managed to find one that brings me up to base. Now I start a very long crossing. I always use the crossings to play around on my phone, do some checks, weather, take some pictures, send some messages, and try to figure out where to go next. So I still arrive above ridge, which is nice, gives me more options, but from here on the winds get stronger and stronger. I have 15k from the south now, which makes the thermals quite hard to center, quite torn up. I get pushed out a lot to the lee side of the thermal, so I struggle to reach base. Also, you see there are barely any visible clouds in this area, so this might be an indicator for the hill being overflown with wind and the thermals being swept away. So makes it all a bit harder, but finally I managed to gain some height and can push on. Now you can see some clouds forming, so I try to get there, but still the wind is pushing me out of the thermals a lot. So I try to fly towards the south to enter a thermal properly. So normally this is the part where you would fly into the Dolomites, which would probably be the highlight nature-wise. But you can see it a bit hard on the video, but there's on the right, there's a cell raining out already. There's a huge one on the left, and there's one in front of us to the northwest. So we kind of decide, okay, let's take the safe approach. Our average speed was quite slow at this point anyway, it's like 25k or something, so we wouldn't be able to make a huge triangle. So yeah, we just call it a day. You can see the cell there on the left, and we just glide back towards the Arn Valley. Some locals pushed on, but they were obviously a lot more familiar with the region and the weather phenomena and how the valley winds would work if there would be some dropout from a cell. So basically we chickened out, decided to call it a day, just glide home to the cars and make it back home before the traffic jams. So we are just gliding home now, just taking some pictures, enjoying the rest of the flight, take it easy. So no big aspirations here anymore. Just wanted to get to the landing site in Sand in Taufers. On the left you can see the cell raining out into that valley, so there could have been a chance of cold air flowing out of that valley creating turbulence, but nothing happened. So normally if you would have flown the triangle properly, you would have gone down towards the south in the Dolomites, make a turn point there, and then go back up here into the Arn Valley to the northwest as far as you can, and then glide back to St. Taufers or to the Speikboden cable car. Then you can even make 240k and more, but well, this day wasn't it. I still enjoyed the flight quite a lot. Nice change of scenery compared to the smaller hills on the northern Alps where I normally fly. So yeah, I definitely should come here more often and try to do some big triangles. Hope you enjoyed the pictures and see you next time.